anybody. My passion and the reason that we actually formed Southwest Airlines is customer service. And we tell our employees right from the applicant stage that we happen to be in the customer service business. We just happen to provide airline transportation. My goal, which clearly I am not 100% successful, but my goal with every applicant that walks through the door is that even though they may be looking for a paycheck and they may be needing a job, most of us do need both, my goal is that they are not thinking about Southwest as a career choice, but rather they are thinking about Southwest as a cause. I believe that when you get people that feel passionate about why they're in whatever effort or organization or business it is, why they're involved in that cause, then you make them understand very quickly that they can make an individual difference in helping achieve that cause. So we have always treated our employees as owners, and at any given point in time, 10 to 13% of our stock is held by our employee. So they really are owners. We decided in 1967, actually, to, I say all of this, for those of you who don't know, I was born and raised in Bellows Falls, Vermont, went to school in Worcester, as you heard, lived in New Haven, Connecticut for 2 years, so I definitely consider myself a Yankee, and my Texan friends now of 40 plus years still think of me as a Yankee. So when I tell you this, I am saying, when I say we, I mean the small little group of investors that decided to form Southwest Airlines thought because they lived in Texas that Texas is of course bigger and better and more wonderful than any other place in the whole wide world, and that there was no reason on this earth that we could not form a successful customer service airline. We saw that the carriers that we now call the legacy carriers that were in existence didn't give a hoot about the business traveler. Most women will not be offended if they are as old as I am to realize that women didn't fly back in the late 60s. I mean, it was very rare. If they did fly, it was for personal, but basically it was a male consumer group, and 90% of the travel was for business reasons, and people did not fly for pleasure unless they were very, very wealthy. And so the general public thought that flying was really for the elite, because it really was, because that's all that could really afford it. We decided to change all that. And we also realized that there were 3 carriers based in Texas at the time, and they were all interested, as anybody in business, in the big dollar ticket, if you will. So they just didn't care at all about short-haul passengers, and they did not believe that there was any price elasticity in air travel. 13% of the adults in America flew in the 60s. And today, it's something like 92%. And they usually start at 3 weeks of age, and they never stop. I'm not telling you that Southwest Airlines created that difference, but I am telling you that we were very much responsible for creating a change in the mindset about why people flew. So when we went into the air, we had no money. We had no expertise. We didn't know what the hell we were doing. I can assure you of that. But what we did have was a passion to try to show people that it could be fun to fly and that you didn't have to be rich to fly. And that we, as a little intra-state carrier at the time, we were just going to serve 3 cities in Texas, that we cared about your business and we wanted it. And we set out to gain basically a reputation or a brand for owning the low fare the low fare carrier, the high frequency in terms of our service, so that we wanted to have more flights than anyone else in the city pair markets that we were going to serve. At the time, it was a triangle of Dallas, Houston, and San Antonio. And that we wanted to have the most fun, not a word often heard of in corporate America, a lot, the most fun and even maybe a little irreverent, a little out there, people who would deliver friendly, caring service. Now, you do go back to what I said, Texans, cowboys, lots of alcohol, lots of beer. We put out ads for our first flight attendants, little itty bitty ads. We couldn't afford anything but little, little square coupon type ads in the newspaper. And we asked for Raquel Welch lookalikes. And I'm telling you, we got them. And when we got them, we got a personality with them that we wanted. It really, really made a difference as to who applied. I am probably the only company that you have ever met, or the only president of any company that you have ever met. I don't say this with a great deal of pride, ladies, but that has been sued, a Title VII lawsuit, because we didn't hire men. We didn't hire men to be flight attendants. Of course, we lost the lawsuit. We knew we would lose the lawsuit, but we got hundreds of thousands of dollars in free advertising, and we didn't have the money to advertise. I mean, even the judge, as much as he hated ruling against us, he knew he had to, but he chuckled the whole time. And one of the reasons that we didn't have males was that we wrote Southwest Airlines in the feminine tense. And we talked about she and her. And we, again, may seem awful today, but our girls were in hot pants, go-go boots. I mean, I am telling you, it was something to see. And and back then I could have gotten into those hot pants too, by the way. But the beer flights on Friday afternoons, the parties, we had these what we called lounges, where our seats faced each other, and we had like 6 of them in the airplane. And people, back then, people fought for those seats. As we started going, many years later, we went outside of Texas and we went to other parts of the country, and people hated those seats. I mean, they fought not to get them. They didn't want any part of it. But back then we had, stop and think about what I said. We own the low fare niche, we own the high frequency city pair routes, and we own really without a doubt, we're not perfect by a long shot, and I know that, but we do have great people, and I hope some of you know that from personal experience. People that really care, and we encourage and empower our people to have fun. So, because of all that, people live on our airplanes. I mean, they live on us. We have people that fly on us the exact same city pair route 5 and 6 times a week. And when that happens, we're not just airline employees that are conducting business. Of course, if